Hey, how you guys doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. So this is my second day with this TV. Been doing a bunch of tests, especially with the Xbox One X, among other things. Um, Sorry about my camera. I apologize. My tripod, it's really just it's moving on its own. It has a life of its own. It's just moving around by itself. Even though I spent a lot of money on this tripod for this GoPro Hero 5 camera, but hey, what are you gonna do? A lot of gimmickry out there. All right, let me just say right out of the gate the most important thing about Sony XBR X900E 4K HDR TV. This is something you should know right out of the gate. No bullshit. You need to know this before you purchase this TV. This TV only has 3 HDMI inputs that support HDR pass-through, meaning it only has 3 HDCP 2.2 inputs. The HDMI 4, it's not pass-through. It doesn't support HDR. Okay? I have tested this not just with my Xbox One X. I have tested this with my Oppo, with Apple 4K TV, with variety of different HDR devices, and the HDMI 4 input doesn't work. HDMI 4 input is just something if you want to connect a device that doesn't support HDR, it only supports 4K. It'll support 4K, but it will not support HDR. Okay? And so HDMI 4 input, it doesn't bother me because I can still use my Oppo as extra HDMI 4 input. That's where Oppo UDP203 comes in handy. That's why you have that pass-through HDMI in. So it doesn't bother me. If you have an Oppo, you pretty much have 4 HDMI HD CP 2.2 inputs. But if you don't have Oppo, then you're stuck with 3 HDR pass-throughs. So meaning only 3 HDR devices you can connect to this thing. While the Samsung KS8000 hub, all of them support UHD color. So that's the one bonus about Samsung TVs, And the one thing I noticed about Samsung TVs is the fact that they're much easier to navigate. Like you getting through sources, you can easily navigate through sources on Samsung KS8000 than on Sony. The way the Sony remote is designed, you see, like right here, for example, I want to do a close-up right here, where it says action, back, guide, home, menu. You can easily click here and then switch here by mistake. See how big my fingers are? I can easily make a mistake and hit the action. And then constantly, instead of me moving and navigating my television, I'll be hitting the action button, the pop-up picture settings button. So that's the one thing. The remote control, it's something that I'm not a huge fan of. Yesterday, I mean, I like the design, but I just not a huge fan of the layout of the controls. All right, and the navigation, it's more simpler on the Samsung KS8000 than it is on like Sony. Sony made it more like it's almost like a Sony Vegas video editing software where you have to go through all these hoops and whatnot. Even when you're changing inputs, like you have to click on the input, then you got to go click these arrows left and up and down to select what you want. I mean, come on, Sony. I mean, your user interface should be a little bit better. You are Sony after all. You do have a pretty good processing chip inside. You do make good processings on the televisions, and you make good quality devices, but seriously, your user interface should be better. Okay? So, it's really important that you guys know that this TV only supports 3 HDMI HDR pass-throughs, meaning it only has 3 HDCP 2.2s. All right, the one on the HDMI 4 doesn't work. I have already tested it. I have tried it. It doesn't work. I don't care what anybody says. I tested it. It doesn't work. There's nothing to turn on for you to do that. Okay, there's no option for you where you have to turn the UHD color or something like that. I already double checked that. Okay, it automatically detects. Sony automatically detects whether or not you are using an HDR device. Okay, you have to turn on that HDR device through your external device that you are using it. Okay, as long as your external device has the UHD turned on, then this television will automatically depict that HDR. Okay, so now that out of the way, we can go ahead and do some tests on this Xbox One X. So I'm gonna go start with a couple of games just to see how they look. I'm gonna start with Forza 7 just to kind of get a feel of how it looks on this television. There goes my tripod again, moving. I swear, this tripod, it's something else. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Okay, so I have selected Injustice 2 for the purpose of this calibration video. All right, I'm gonna let the demo run. It's all in-game engine demo. So while we're looking at the picture, I'm gonna go ahead and do some calibration here really quick while we're watching the Injustice 2. So I'm gonna hit the action menu. I'm gonna hit picture adjustments. Right now we're in a standard mode. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take us to a game mode. I'm gonna move down through all these modes, and to me animation seems to be really good as well. Honestly, I don't know if you guys tried the animation, but animation seems to be like really smooth and good. That's another good one as well. Now there's the game mode. I did notice the game mode has a lot of warm color, like probably a plenty of warm color, maximum warm color, which is something that I always told you they recommend for gaming, because with the warm 2 color you can play for a long period of time. Okay, so we're gonna keep it on a game color, picture mode, and you see it already has the HDR, says HDR right there. Now brightness has to be at 55, so we'll keep that. I mean, brightness has to be maximum. Both, you see, doesn't matter what TV you're using, the brightness and the contrast, it's always going to be maximum because you're using HDR. So that thing will always be set to maximum. Color is 55, but I feel we can move the color to 60 here. We can move it to 60 a little bit. All right, let's go to the advanced settings. All right, here the contrast needs to be all the way up. Okay, we're using HDR, so we'll keep the contrast and brightness. Hold on. You see, this is what I was telling you about, how sensitive this layout is on the remote. You always by accident hit the action menu. Okay, so brightness, contrast for the HDR, we got to keep that maximum. Gamma, I don't want to mess with that. Black levels for this game, we can move it up a little bit. Let's turn the black adjust. We'll keep it at high. Keep our black levels. Let me see. We'll keep it at high, because the reason I want to keep my black adjustment levels at high, it's because I'm going to move my black levels down a little bit, so that way they can stay visible and not crushed. So I'm gonna move my black levels down a bit. We'll see, 43. I'm gonna wait for another demo. I want to just see how much I can squeeze here. 43, 42, 40. How about 39? All right, 39 seems to be pretty good here. Hold on. Let me adjust my low light. There you go. Now it looks very smooth. Contrast enhancer. We're going to keep it at high since now we have the deep dark levels with the nice white bright levels. So we'll keep the contrast at high. You see how many features this thing has? Local dimming, it's at medium, but we got to keep it at high, guys. Now we got a nice set of deep dark levels here. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can see. An extended dynamic range, I like to keep it at high as well. Okay, so now let's look at the color. Color, it's at 60, that's fine. Color temperature, expert 1. But let me see, maybe I can change this a bit. Warm. I'll tell you what, I'll keep the color neutral, because when you keep the color neutral, you get a very nice balance between cold blue and warm yellow. So I'll keep it a neutral here, and you can see when you keep the color neutral, it really looks good. There's another feature here where you can adjust the RGB colors yourself. You know, it's a 2-point, 10-point color. So this is another cool feature that you have on this television. And this is what I was telling you yesterday. Sony XBR X900E gives me a lot of tools for me to get the best possible picture. All right, it really gives our calibrators a lot of features to work with. Samsung gives you features, but doesn't nearly give you enough features as the Sony television does. So far, Sony gives you the most advanced features in terms of calibration, and that's good because you can really pinpoint and hit that, if you will, G spot of calibration with these set of tools. Means that you can get that best possible picture for your content. And live color, this improves the vividness of color. You can turn this on if you like. I'm gonna keep it at high. So let's look at this for a little bit. Let's just exit this. Let's just kind of see how it looks, and this looks amazing. I gotta tell you, like the colors pop out of the screen. The deep dark levels are really nice and vivid. As you can see, they're like nearly almost like OLED, man. That full array local dimming and the adjustment of the deep dark levels with a high contrast, it really is good. And this kills, this television kills AgileIt. It's the best. This is the best deep dark levels you're gonna see on LCD LED, And if you go to X900E, you're gonna get even better deep dark levels. And if you go to Z9D, then you're really getting like the best possible deep dark levels with Z9D. But this looks amazing. This looks really good, man. Okay, so let's get back to calibrations. Let's hit the action menu. Let's hit to picture adjustments. We're still in the game mode. We're gonna go to the advanced settings, and we're gonna hit to the clarity. Now sharpness is at 50, but I don't like it to be that high. I already talked to you guys about why you want to move the sharpness down and what issues it causes. Moving sharpness up, it's not going to give you any kind of clarity detail. It's going to actually destroy the detail. All right. And I have a video where I showed you that. So we'll keep sharpness at 34. Okay, we'll keep it at 34 here. Let's just see how it looks. Resolution. This, what it does, it it adjusted the noises on the picture, so we'll keep this at, we'll keep it at 20. You see how many features you have on this television. This is what I was telling you. No other television brand will give you the amount of features for you to adjust and calibrate. This is the calibrating, for calibrators, this is your dream. If you got this television, or if you got Z9D or 930, and you got calibrating equipment and you're using Sony televisions, you'll be able to really pinpoint that picture and calibrate that picture quality to your likeness down to the Y and Z, man. Really, you're gonna be able to truly get that best possible picture quality. Now the motion flow, it's off because we're using a game mode, but I'll turn it on. I'll keep it on standard. Now it's on custom. Smoothness in 3. Alright, so we'll keep it on custom. The smoothness is up to 3. This is fine. If you leave smoothness at 3, the judder, you can't even notice that judder. I mean, it's not nowhere nearly present here. As this television has a really good processing for motion flow, I would say Sony has the best motion flow processing soap opera effect. No other TV has a better motion flow. There's barely. I was watching Transformers yesterday. You would be hard pressed to find a judder or like that ghosting from the motion flow. You'd be hard pressed to find it. All right, let's look at this one more time. I mean, it looks beautiful. This looks really great. The HDR here, and then the way this game looks on the Xbox One X on this TV is truly remarkable. And you've seen just how many features I was able to utilize to calibrate this game, this specific game. Okay. All right, let's jump into Destiny 2 really quick. Let's see how Destiny 2 looks. Actually, guys, let's try Madden 18. I know a lot of you guys want to see Madden 18. We'll do Destiny 2 later on throughout the day. Let's jump into Madden 18. And I want you guys to keep in check. This is going to be a part 1 of this video. I'll have to continue with a part 2 to show you more Xbox One X games. And then we're going to jump into the PlayStation 4 Pro games as well. So there'll be a bunch of videos throughout the day. So I'm going to continue my franchise here between Patriots and New York Giants. Look at the deep dark levels on this thing. It's ridiculous.
The Giants possessing the football. We rejoin the action in the second quarter.
This looks amazing. Look, the characters and the players just pop out of the screen, man. It's just simply amazing. No, you allow him to get the first down. This game looks amazing. I have to tell you, man, this looks amazing. The amount of detail that I see, the deep dark levels, the characters, the way they pop out of the screen. My camera here is truly not doing it justice. But you see, this is what's so great about this television. It really gives you so many options. Pick it up. Oh, come on. It really gives you so many options for you to calibrate. No other TV, and I tested LG, Vizio, Samsung, a bunch of variety of OLED TVs as well, and now Sony. And I can tell you, and TCL, and I can tell you from a guy who tested all of these TVs, I haven't seen a TV unlike Sony right now that gives you that many options for calibration. And that's what makes this so unique. Now I totally understand why a lot of people were giving this television so many props and good recommendations, because it really has a lot of features, guys. Between your deep dark levels, your contrast, your HDR modes, sharpness, color, brightness, full array local dimmings. How do you want your full array local dimmings? Different color temperatures you can set up. There's a lot of features here on this television that it's almost like a professional calibrator dream. Come on, come on. Got it. Oh, he didn't step out of bounds. Come on, man. He was right there on the green.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football,
Here we go.
whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs.
All right, I'll do one more play, and then we're going to jump into Destiny 2. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. Come on. Oh! 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 All right, we'll leave it right here. That was a good play. We'll leave it right here. Oh, my God. 18 yards right there. Oh, shit. Nice. Look at that spin. And another spin. Nice. Like a train. Gone, baby. All right, so let's jump into Destiny 2. Here we are. Destiny 2. Oh. All right, here we are going to the farm level. And I have to tell you that this television really has one of the best deep dark levels I have seen on LCD LED television. Even TCL couldn't compete with the deep dark levels here. Really, Sony produces one of the best deep dark levels. And look, man, there's no lag here. It is really good. The response time here is probably 28 to 32, or probably 28 milliseconds. The deep dark levels are really amazing, honestly, guys, on this television. It's really great, especially when you have a game like this that's running in a native 4K HDR. It really looks remarkable. But the reason we have such a great picture quality, it's because Sony allows us to gives us this perfect adjustment of picture. This is really a calibrator dream. I like to use the term professional calibrator's dream. It really gives you so many advanced settings and features for you to really get that best possible picture quality. And I'm so happy that this television has this, because now I'll be able really to spend a lot of time getting the best possible picture quality for certain movies, certain games, certain content, certain device, and this is really great. And you also have different types of HDR modes. This is something I forgot to mention. Right now I'm on the automatic, but you can switch to HDR10 and you will see a slight little difference here when you switch to HDR10. There's also a HLG, but I don't think it supports it right now, so I wouldn't use that. The best thing to do, keep it on automatic, or you can keep it on HDR10. But my advice to you is just keep it on automatic. Let the television decide the best possible rendering of HDR. Because remember, this television has a really good processing. It's not the Extreme X1 processor, but it's the basic one that they have, which is still pretty damn good. And that X1 BRAVIA processing chip that they have inside, it's really an amazing chip, you know. Color space, HDMI, video range, all of this I would keep on automatic. The reason I say automatic, because even Vincent Teo from HD TV Tests, he says, why would you want to guess how long is your HDMI cable? You know, is it a good HDMI cable, not a good HDMI cable? Why don't you just let the television decide and communicate between your device and your TV, and let the television processing give you that best possible color space, video range, HDMI, and best possible HDR mode. So let the TV decide. And I agree with Vincent, you know, it's true. Let the TV decide. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, it really does. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the sharpness to 20. Let me move the sharpness to 20 here really quick. Let me see what I can get. Let's click on Action Menu. And believe me, the deep dark levels here are perfect. They're not being crushed. They look perfect, okay? Let me go to the advanced settings. Let me go to the video options here. Black level is 39, which is great. Let me go to the sharpness here. Sharpness should be right next to brightness, I think. Sharpness, sharpness. Come on, sharpness. Where are you? Oh, there it is, right there. I'm going to move the sharpness to 24. Oh my God, this looks even better now. Uniformity on this television, it's also great as well because it is a 55-inch. And yeah, leaving sharpness here at 24, it looks fantastic because we are watching this in a native 4K. This game runs in native 4K HDR. It just looks beautiful, guys. Like I said, my camera here, it's really not doing it justice. You have to see this in person, and this really, it reminds me of OLED. Like the deep dark levels on this televisions are really almost, this is like as close as you're gonna get to like something like as OLED on an LCD. There's no questions. The Sony has the best deep dark levels and the best motion flow. No judder here. This is where Sony wins in terms of that. Samsung, you know, your motion flow, it's not that great, and there's plenty of judder and ghosting. And of course, one of the biggest issues with the KS8000, as I always said, is that edge lit, that edge lit bleeding light, man, that just kills that TV. If you're watching it from like a corner, if you're watching it from the center, you'll be okay. But if you have some guests watching that Samsung KS8000 on the wall, if they're watching a football game from a left all the way in the corner, they're going to see that brightness and that bleeding light. With this television, they're not going to see that. This looks amazing. All right, so this is my part one of testing the Xbox One X games. On the part two, we'll go through some more games. We'll do some tests. We'll start with Forza 7 and others, and we'll check out a variety of different games. Okay? But remember, this television only supports 3 HDCP 2.2 inputs, HDMIs. Okay? Now, it's not a big deal for me because I have Oppo, so I already got an extra one through Oppo, because Oppo has the HDCP pass-through HDMI in. But for those of you looking to connect more devices, remember, this television only supports 3 HDCP 2.2s. And I tested it. The HDMI 4 doesn't work. It doesn't support HDR pass-through. All right, guys. So there you have it. Hopefully this video was good for you. If you like it, you know what to do. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. I'll catch you in the part number 2. Take care. Have a good one, though. Peace out.